survived. When the Nazis took power in 1933, they labelled expressionist cinema, such as the kind Murnau had been making, as degenerate art. As these films went out of circulation among cinemas that were careful not to offend the new regime, little thought was put into preserving the prints or original negatives, and many were simply lost or destroyed in the chaos of World War II. But perhaps Murnau's most notable feature was lost well before the Nazis had the chance to actively suppress it. This is the story of Nosferatu, a symphony of horror, F.W. Murnau's most commercially successful German film and one of the great enigmas of the silent era. To find out more, I talked to Dr. John Seward at the University of Western Sydney, who is currently writing a monograph on the subject. So Nosferatu was based on an Irish novel?
Actually, an English novel written by an Irishman.
Could you tell me more about the novel?
I wish I could, but a lot has been lost to time and disinterest. Dracula, or the Undead, which Nosferatu is based on, was a kind of poor man's Dorian Gray, a minor success in England at the time, but it inspired little critical celebration and few reprintings outside of some later abridgments and penny dreadfuls.
So how did the book end up in the hands of a German film company?
Well, the popularity of the supernatural and occult amongst German audiences in the 20s meant that studios would often import stacks of knock-off Gothic fiction from England, hoping to find the next Frankenstein or Dr. Jekyll. The industry really wasn't different to the modern-day Hollywood in that respect. If one studio found a hit, 10 others would go searching for something similar. Presumably this is how Dracula ended up with the short-lived Prana film and later Murnau himself.
So what is the book about?
Well, I wish I could provide details, but unfortunately I have only vague outlines to go by. For my research, I've only managed to find incomplete scans of the old penny dreadfuls online, and in order to find a full copy of the novel, I'd need to go to archives in the UK. What I can say is that it seemed to be a reworking of Romanian mythology that centred on a strigoi, or a vampire, a kind of corporeal ghost that feeds on the blood of humans.
Lovely stuff.
Yes, well, these kind of figures had been popping up in a bit of Gothic literature and dark romanticism, but ultimately never really caught on in the public imagination, and they've remained a forgotten footnote of European folklore.
And do we know how Murnau adapted this material?
Yes and no. What's really weird about this film is that the shooting script has been lost, but a transcript of the intertitles remain. So from this we can piece together a few things, like the names have been changed, the titular of Dracula is now Orlock, for instance, that Murnau had relocating the setting to Germany, and the subplot about the Black Death had been introduced. Other than that, we can speculate on what images are contained between those title cards.
And have you got this transcription?
Of course, it's quite striking at times, actually. It begins, a chronicle of the great death of Devised in the year 1838 AD. Nosferatu. Does not this name sound like the very midnight call of death? Speak it not aloud, or life's pictures will turn to pale shadows, and nightmares will rise up to feed on blood.
Everything's just great.
So great.
Peachy.
It's a peachy time in our partnership.
Our partnership was picked up.
It picked up when she proposed.
I proposed, now Potts Point Penthouse.
And now we're peachy.
We're post-plebiscite.
We're in love.
It's a good time for a
A
marriage.
great time for a marriage.
The economy's good.
Economy's great.
Well, the economy's always good when you're in real estate.
Bubble. What bubble?
Sometimes it's a seller's market.
Sometimes it's a buyer's market.
It's always my market.
And mine.
Of course.
It's a good time for real estate, but
It's a great time for publishing.
it's a great time for digital publishing.
She's a publisher.
A digital publisher.
No printing to see here.
No deforestation. Our relationship in business and pleasure is 100% green.
Thanks to government rebates, all my investment properties are now fully deductible because of the solar panels we installed.
Just our little part in saving the planet.
It's our little part in saving the planet.
We start each morning with our own hand-pumped espresso from sacred ground single origin beans, ethically sourced from Papua New Guinea.
They love us in Papua New Guinea.
Just doing our little part.
When we kick back at night with the G&T, we make sure it's sourced organically, locally and sustainably from 100% Australian botanicals.
Except from the glass.
Of course.
Because no more plastic straws.
Everything that enters our bodies is 100% natural, organic, and our good friends in PNG withstanding, local.
And she doesn't just mean food.
Of course, which is why when we retire to the bedroom,
All our toys are 100% hypoallergenic, non-toxic, and phthalate-free.
But they're not going anywhere near us without the aid of our organic glycerin, paraben-free, water-based personal lubricant.
Why have you destroyed them? The beautiful flowers?
What?
As we were saying,
Peachy!
Lovely.
We won the postal vote.
We won the by-election.
We flushed the dual citizens out of our parliament.
People are buying strawberries again.
We got plastic bags out of woolies.
And coal.
Well, we've been using cloth for years.
We're more inclusive than ever.
A Muslim won a gold Loki.
Macklemore played the NRL halftime.
And everything's just peachy.
It's just great.
Count Orlock, His Grace from Transylvania, wants to buy a beautiful house in our little town.
Sorry? Darling, right, you're here, Negroni.
Oh, I shouldn't.
Don't you ever say that word in this office again.
Shouldn't. Do you know where we'd be in this agency if everything they told me I shouldn't do, I didn't? Shouldn't just for the weak. Shouldn't just for the flies. And we're the spiders. Now be a spider, darling, and drink this with me. Our mothers and grandmothers fought for our right to have a Negroni during working hours. You see, it wasn't always easy for women like us in the property game, but ever since we broke through the glass ceiling for good in 94, bitches like us, we're on this city.
What happened in 94?
I don't quite remember for some reason. Another Negroni?
Oh,
You're welcome. Now back is Count Low. He wants to buy up some waterfront property. And what do we do when a foreign investor wants to buy up some waterfront property?
we sell it to them.
I'll drink to that. Another? Great. Now, some might say that we shouldn't accept payment from another offshore tax haven. Some might say that we shouldn't be artificially driving up prices for our latest development partnership through a Transylvanian shell account. They might even say that we shouldn't break the law until we finish lobbying for a change in Senate law on a state and or federal level, but that's just spider talk. And we're the birds.
I thought we were the spiders.
Today's spiders are tomorrow's flies. Keep up. What do I do really? Sell houses? No. I build nests. I build nests for me and my little baby birds. And I won't just eat the spiders. I'll fly them to my nest and feed them to my little chickies.
The chickies being
Clients. Like this poor foreign aristocrat who simply wants a view of the water and unreasonable noise restriction laws.
So you want me to arrange the inspections?
Well, darling, you're a bird like me. Spread your wings a bit. You're going to pay me a visit down in the valley. A toast to your travels.
I thought you said he was up in the mountains.
Oh, one of those places where you can't get a half decent photo. They're all the same to me.
Is that why you can't go?
Can't just for the birds. I won't go so that you can. And for the cats.
Because the cats eat the birds now?
This is why I love your work. You catch them fast. Like a cat.
We're the cat.
Real estate felines. Property pussies. Oh, I like that. A toast to the property pussies.
So I assume you just want me to do standard client maintenance, financials check, that sort of
Don't
thing?
let me tell you how to do your job. Just get down there, get the money, get the commission, get some duty-free Kalari.
I mean, sure. I'll get going as soon as possible. You can handle my clients while I'm gone?
Why would you assume otherwise?
Okay, great.
You will have a marvellous journey. What matter if it costs you a bit of pain? Or even a bit of blood?
What?
Oh, sorry, darling. You know how I get up to my 143 Negroni anyway. You're gonna have a blast. And it's not even a work trip. Think of it as a paid vacation. Because I do look after my pussy cats. Don't I? So have fun. Any questions before you dash?
So, who eats the cat?
Hello?
dishes. The first recipe was this roasted cauliflower with peas and minted yogurt salad and boiled an egg. It started on a high. So you make like this yogurt rice, which Greek yogurt, coconut yogurt, like an actual one. Then that just made this vegan and perfectly fine and particularly coconutty. So you blend that with peas and mint. That's the coconut yogurt I use. And you boil some quinoa. Also had micro-herbs in it, which I didn't find at like a sort of independent grocery store. Except with quinoa and beans and walnut. And then there was the dressing. You roast some cauliflower, surprise, and toss through the yogurt and put an egg. Okay, all these salads were like definitely best fresh.
Wondering, does this place have Wi-Fi?
No.
Right, it's just that I don't have reception and I'm trying to get an Uber.
What's that?
Uber? Like rideshare. You don't have Uber?
No. Not here.
What about a taxi service?
There's Shannon.
Okay, great.
Shannon's on holiday.
Right, so is there any
So
way
what brings you up here?
Work trip.
Yeah? What do you do for work?
I'm in real estate.
Right. Paying well? Real estate?
Oh,
Because that's a pretty fancy outfit you've got there.
oh, thanks, just work clothes.
Right.
Is there any way I'd be able to get up the mountains tonight?
The mountains? Wow. I don't know how you go up the mountains. Not in those shoes.
You suggest?
Hang on. What? Yeah? This one here wants to go up the mountains. And? Well, didn't you go up there once?
I didn't fucking go up there.
Didn't you?
No, you're thinking of
How
Taylor.
the fuck did Taylor go up there?
I don't know, she did that.
No, Daryl went up there last Easter.
Oh. Where is Saro these days?
You know, now you mention it.
Thanks for your help, but I think I don't think you'll be going up there tonight.
Hungry?
It's chicken parm night.
It is.
Oh, it is world famous, that chicken parm.
And Shannon's on holiday, so he may as well.
I'm actually vegetarian.
Oh.
How many vegetarians where you're from?
Oh, more and more, I guess. Ethics, sustainability.
An interesting lifestyle choice you got there.
Yeah. I can tell you not one for me. You're all skin and bone.
Ain't a little slip of a thing like you going up the mountains on a night like this. Let alone without a bit of protein for the trip.
It's not safe for a girl like you. Where's your boyfriend, love?
I'm married, actually.
Oh, who's a lucky fella?
My wife, actually.
Like I said.
Interesting lifestyle choices.
So you're into girls.
Oh,
You wanna fuck us or something?
Oh God, no.
Are you saying we're ugly?
No,
And
it's
why
just
the fuck were you checking us out when you walked in here?
I wasn't.
Are you calling her a fucking liar?
No, I'm not trying.
Try or what? I will fuck you over that if it's a big talk to me like
my ride just
Get accepted. You must leave now. The evil spirits become all powerful after dark.
stay safe. Hi.
Please help yourself to water or Mentos in the back seat.
I'm good, thanks. So, busy night?
Oh well, we'll see.
Does it get busy around here? Took a while for my ride to get accepted.
I don't know. Well, people often don't. They say it's unsafe.
What do you mean?
Oh, you heard the stories?
No?
Those girls that disappeared.
What girls?
Oh, these are two young girls. They were drunk, of course. They caught an Uber around here and their bodies were found down by the mountains. When they checked the driver's car, well, you have a lot. Blood. Semen.
Sorry, do you mind if we just don't talk about this tonight?
Of course. Sorry. You know, I gotta be honest. I know this might not be politically correct, but you should see these girls. They go out like they're dressed for a ball or something. By the end of the night, they look like they've come back from work in the whorehouse. And they're so fucking drunk. These girls I pick up on, someone's just gonna take advantage of a situation like that.
Much further?
We're almost there.
Are there wolves around here?
Wolves.
The howling.
Oh, sorry. I forget I've got my own mix on sometimes.
Sorry.
Oh, I think I've got that CD.
Huh?
Yeah, they use this in a tourism campaign for the area.
You had a tourism campaign
Oh, long
here.
story, I'll spare you the details. But they just like it when I play the CD.
Uber want you to play a tourism CD.
Uber isn't my main gig.
So who wants you to play a
Well, I'll
tourism
just drop you off here. I can't go much further.
What?
Don't worry, the castle's just up there.
You don't think you could just...
I think you should hurry up. The Count's been waiting long enough.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
Do you need any help with your bags? Or,
Actually, that would
Alright,
be
suit yourself.
Hang on, I didn't tell you about the count.
You seem very curious, which can be great, but there's just one thing I think you should remember.
What?
Don't forget to give 5 stars.
Wrap you in his arms, tell you that you've been a good boy. Rekindle all the dreams that took you a lifetime to destroy. They'll reach deep into the hole, heal your shrinking soul, but there won't be a single thing that you can do. He's a god, he's a babe, he's a ghost, he's a good. They're whispering his name through this disappearing lane, but hidden in his coat is a red right hand.
Please, allow me to introduce myself. I'm a man of wealth and taste, and therefore, since I cannot prove the lover, to entertain these fair, well-spoken days, I am determined to prove a villain and hate the idle pleasures of these days. And I was round when Jesus Christ had his moment of doubt and pain, me, who have touched and tasted, yet both live in life more perfect of attained than fate meant me, by venturing higher than my lot. Pleased to meet you. Hope you guessed my name. Strong men tremble when they hear it. They've got cause enough to fear it. It's much blacker than they smear it. Nobody mentions my name. My name is But what's puzzling you is I'm simply not there. I have all the characteristics of a human being: blood, flesh, skin, hair, but not a single clear, identifiable emotion. Except greed and disgust. Just a pale, blank, motionless face. The blackest eyes, the devil's eyes. No reason, no conscience, no understanding, even the most rudimentary form of life or death, good or evil, right or wrong. Something horrible is happening inside me and I don't know why. My nightly bloodlust has overflown into my days. I feel lethal, on the verge of frenzy. I think my mask of sanity is about to slip. The mind is its own place, and in itself can make a heaven of hell, a hell of heaven. We can all go a little mad sometimes. But I got smarter. I got harder in the nick of time. I rose from the dead. I do it all the time because I'm bad. I'm bad. Come on, you know. You know, I'm bad. I'm bad, but you know, and you know I'm bad. I'm bad. The whole world has to answer right now just to tell you once again, I'm the danger. Guy opens his door and gets shot. You think that of me? No. I'm the one who knocks. I have a competition in me. I want no one else to succeed. I hate most people. I'll keep this short and sweet. Family, religion, friendship. These are the three demons you must slay if you wish to succeed in business. Me, I have no brother. I am like no brother. And this word love, which greybeards call divine, be resident in men like one another, and not in me. I am myself alone. When opportunity knocks, you don't want to be driving to some maternity ward or sitting in some phony baloney church. The point is, ladies and gentlemen, that greed, for lack of a better word, is good. Greed is right. Greed works. Greed clarifies, cuts through, and captures the essence of the evolutionary spirit. Greed in all its forms, for life, for love, for money. Knowledge has marked the upward surge of mankind. So prepare for the chance of a lifetime. Be prepared for sensational news. A shining new era is tiptoeing there, I know. It sounds sordid, but will be rewarded when at last I'm given my dues and injustice deliciously scored. Be prepared. Think it's time to have a toast. Huh? Let's have a toast. Let's have a toast to the douchebags. Let's have a toast to the arseholes. Let's have a toast to the scumbags. Don't toast to my health. Toast to my fuck. What are you looking at? We're all a bunch of fucking assholes. You know why? You don't have the guts to be what you want to be. You need people like me. You need people like me so you can get on your fucking keyboards and make me the bad guy. So what's that make you? Good? You're not good. You know how to hide, how to lie. Me, I don't have that problem. I always tell the truth, even when I lie. So say goodnight to the bad guy. Come on, the last time we're going to see a bad guy like this again, let me tell you. Come on! Make way for the bad guy! There's a bad guy coming through! Better get out of his way! See? Now you respect me. Because I'm a threat. You will always be fond of me. I represent to you all the sins you never had the courage to commit. I could stand in the middle of Fifth Avenue and shoot someone. I wouldn't lose any voters. It's like incredible. caught me monologuing. Very well. Where do I begin? Oh, my father was a relentlessly self-improving boulangerie owner from Belgium, low-grade narcolepsy and a penchant for buggery. My mother was a 15-year-old French prostitute named Chloe with webbed feet. My father would womanize and drink and make outrageous claims like he invented the question mark. Sometimes he would accuse chestnuts of being lazy, the sort of general malaise that only the genius possess and the insane lament. Oh, my childhood was typical. Summers in Rangoon, luge lessons. In the spring we'd make meat helmets. When I was insolent, I was placed in a burlap bag, beaten with rings. Pretty standard, really. At the age of 12, I received my first scribe. At the age of 14, as a Rostrian named Zelma, ritualistically shaved my testicles. But I shot a man, Reno. I used to watch him die. This motherfucker's thinking I'm playing. Thinking I'm saying this shit because I'm thinking it just to be saying it. I'll put your hand down, I'm not going to shoot you. I'm going to pull you to this bullet and put it through you because I run shit around here. You just live here. That's right. So go on and walk away. Go on and walk away because I'm going to burn this motherfucker down. King Kong hasn't got shit on me. That's right. That is right. Shit, I don't... Fuck, I'm winning. Anyway, I'm winning. Any motherfucking way. Shit, I can't lose. We can settle it. The beef between us with chrome and the metal shit, but I make it hot. Like a kettle get, because I'm a bad motherfucker. Don't you know? And I'll crawl over 50 good pussies just to get to one fat boy's arsehole. You want to talk about this old school bullshit about the rules? Here's a rule you might remember. I'm the fucking one who calls the shots. And you better pay me respect. Farewell, happy fields, where joy forever dwells. Hail horrors. Hail infernal world. Horror has a face. And you must make a friend of horror. Horror and mortal terror are your friends. If they are not, then they are your enemies. To be feared, they are truly enemies. Good. I can feel your anger. Who is for me? And let me incidentally add, whoever is not for me is against me. Let him face the consequences. What's he to say I played the villain when this advice I give is free and honest? Don't be so gloomy. Like the fella says, in Italy under the Borgias for 30 years, they had bloodshed, warfare, murder, terror, but they produced Michelangelo, Leonardo da Vinci, and the Renaissance. In Switzerland, they had brotherly love, 500 years of democracy and peace. What did that produce? The cuckoo clock. Although the world stood up and stopped the bastard, the bitch that bore him is in heat again. So prepare for the coup of the century. Be prepared for the murkiest scams, meticulous plan, tenacity spanning decades of denial, is simply while I'll be the king, undisputed, respected, saluted, and seen for the wonder that I am. Why, I can smile and murder whilst I smile, and cry content to that which grieves my heart, and wet my cheeks with artificial tears, and frame my face to all occasions. I'll drown more sailors than the mermaid shall. I'll slay more gazers than the basilisk. I'll play the orator as well as Nestor, deceive more slyly than Ulysses could, and like a Simon, take another Troy. I can add colours to the chameleon, change shapes with Proteus for advantages, and set the murderous Machiavel to school. Question: what do these things all have in common? Everybody knows I'm a motherfucking monster.
It's lovely to meet you too.
Well, it's too late to talk business now. I was honestly expecting you to be a bit more punctual.
Oh God, sorry.
Anyway, make yourself at home. I look forward to starting tomorrow. So I was thinking we could begin by discussing the investment value in the areas you showed me during our initial correspondence before moving on to the niceties.
Niceties.
Renovations, views, facilities, creature comforts. I need to secure the value of my investment before I can get carried away with finding my dream home.
Yes, of course.
And do you think I ended up in a place like this by just pouncing on the first pretty thing that I see?
I assume that. Never mind.
Well, it looks like the market is in its first downward swing in a while, really. It looks like the bank's being skittish about lending to the middle class while you've got that Royal Commission happening. From what I'm reading, no one's buying and everyone's selling. So, as much as I appreciate a nice view of the water, return on investment is at the forefront of my mind.
Yes, of course. Were you intending to live at the property?
We're coming down, of course, but I'm a global man. I stay where I'm needed.
If you were planning to develop and flip, you might be waiting a while.
I'm a very patient man.
Of course.
Are you worried I'm going to swoop in, seize every piece of land you've got for sale, and turn it around just as people like you are able to buy again, at which point you won't be able to afford the price I can ask, and you, your company, and your economy don't see a cent of the profit I turn?
No, of course not.
But
Some people might. Look, my understanding was that discretion was a big priority of yours, and people are going to notice a foreign investment of this size. Maybe not now, but eventually.
maybe I'll have sold by then.
Maybe.
Maybe you could buy by then.
My commissions are only so big. The kinds of places you're looking at, they're way outside wherever I'd be able to afford.
Why?
I'm not a count.
You're thinking small. You help me on an investment like this, and suddenly, those not so big commissions become a little bigger. It's in the kind of place where flipping becomes the kind of place you could occupy.
I'm doing well, but the kinds of places you're looking at, there aren't really enough for any old person.
You don't have to be any old person. I mean, look at her. She is beautiful, and don't you think you two deserve to settle down together? Settle down somewhere nice? After all, let's be honest, digital publishing isn't exactly known for its generous pension.
How did you...
And that's an investment portfolio. You're not going to lose anything, but it's a bit conservative. There's an odd saying in my family, don't confuse not losing for winning.
Okay,
I'm really interested in getting to know you. We could be neighbours, you, me, and your little wife. You're all modern down there now, aren't you? I do a lot of research into where I'm buying and who I'm buying from, so I hope you don't take my interest as anything too overbearing. You're my business associate. You're my guest. Hopefully, you can still be my friend. And I'm really interested in getting to know every part of you. A little better. Don't worry, the plumbing is quite solid. I do still put a bit of thought into the niceties. I know at times this may not have been the luxe day a woman of your professional standing is accustomed to, But I like to think this sort of quaint accommodation has its own kind of warmth. Even if you don't agree, you've been very gracious about hiding it. Oh, now, don't worry about your things. I've packed them and sent them ahead of you. No, it's no trouble at all, don't worry. I don't mind packing an extra bag or two, and honestly, it's quite touching you trust me with some of your more personal items. Anyway, so I've packed your bag, along with a few souvenirs from your travels by courier, so they should be getting to your wife very soon. Oh, I had to sign the customs form under your name, but I assumed you wouldn't mind. I know how much red tape can annoy a shrewd investor like yourself. Of course, now your last officially documented whereabouts, and now the next town over, which is good because then no one will be worried. They'll know you're on your way, that you made it down the mountain safe and sound. Oh, speaking of worrying, I held on to this for you. I saw you were trying to get in contact with your wife. I should have mentioned. Reception here is just dreadful, so it seems none of the messages have been delivered. I know, that must be stressful, but I'm sure the time apart is good for the both of you. Anyway, if I arrive first, I'll be sure to check in on her and let her know you're all okay. Well, I think that's just about it. I can't believe it's time to leave. I'm not very good with gratitude. It often comes off sounding disingenuous when I say thank you, but thank you. Really. You've no idea the opportunity you've opened up for me. Come to think of it, no idea the opportunity you've opened up for your country. You should be very proud. Anyway, feel no rush to head off. Stay as long as you like. Keep back. Make it a mini holiday after all the work you've done. And don't worry about locking up. No one comes in here anyway, but do keep the doors closed. There are all sorts of wild animals that could just wander in. And keep the windows closed at night. I'm not sure if you noticed the mozzie problem, but if you're not vigilant, you will be eaten alive. Well, they're expecting me at the port, so I best be off. Don't be a stranger. Oh, go on. You too. Bye!
Live animals and plants, plant materials, animal products, and certain food from overseas could introduce some of the world's most damaging pests and diseases into our country. This could devastate our valuable tourism and agriculture industries and unique environment. The Department of Agriculture and Water Resources works with state and territory governments, industry and community to maintain our clean and wholesome food supply, at home and abroad. We all benefit from a strong biosecurity system, so we all have a role to play. While our geographical isolation has played a key role in maintaining this status, our isolation as an island nation is rapidly changing as barriers of time and distance become less relevant and international trade and travel increase. With over 60,000 kilometres of coastline offering a variety of pathways for pests and diseases, the Department of Agriculture and Water Resources screens, inspects and clears the millions of people, mail parcels, baggage, ships animals, plants, and cargo containers entering the country each year, using X-ray machines, surveillance, and of course, the instantly recognisable detected dogs. Coffins. We work across the whole biosecurity continuum, with offshore, at the border, and onshore processing. Surveillance and monitoring of risk areas is also critical, focusing on border control activities which assess and manage potential biosecurity threats at our airports, seaports, and international mail centres. Today, biosecurity controls at our borders help to minimise the risk of exotic pests and diseases entering the country and protect our $32 billion agricultural export industry, as well as our unique environment, native flora and fauna, tourism industries, and lifestyle.
Oh no. Oh, that's just awful. Oh, you would say that. Well, I didn't vote for him.
There!
Yes, love!
I'm having a glass of what? Would you like one?
Yes, I think I Tina!
Yeah?
Can you pop an ice cube or two in?
Oh, no worries, love. Looks like Liz isn't happy with Megan again.
You know, she's not really one of.
Oh, they said that about Di.
So they did. Look how Liz was with her.
True.
I've never forgiven her for keeping the flags up that Di.
She was a bloody bitch, she was.
Oh, Di. God rest her heart.
You know, I say a prayer for her every night.
You're a good soul, Tina. Have you been following this boat story?
What? Another one?
No, this Count Orlock. Apparently he's on his way here at the moment.
Oh, him. Oh, yes. Yes, I had heard. There was a current affair on him the other night, was there?
Oh, yes, there was. Apparently a lot of people aren't particularly thrilled.
Oh, people are always finding something to get upset about.
If I can be honest with you, Tina.
Be honest,
If
Bev.
I can speak my mind.
Speak it, Bev.
I don't mind the bloke.
You know, I think you're right.
I mean, he can't be any worse than the lot we've got here at the moment.
Well, he is a breath of fresh air.
Exactly.
And all that money he's got. He's a very successful man. He must be doing something right.
This is what I have been saying.
I mean, we can't just let anyone in.
Oh, no. But I think he could do quite a lot of good. And he's got a strong character. And to get used to it.
Well, my granddaughter's been going on and on about how we should be up in arms
Oh,
about
they
it.
are passionate about the things the young ones nowadays.
Oh, yes, but after a while, I just couldn't keep up.
Well, my nephew shared this article on the Facebook.
You on the Facebook
Yes,
there?
I am. Anyway, this article that my nephew shared said that he does all a kick job.
No.
Yes, it is a smear job by the higher ups who are afraid of him. Apparently the media doesn't like him because he's not afraid to disrupt things.
You know, I thought that was it.
You've got to be careful trusting nasty rumours.
Oh, there are so many nasty rumours around these days. I can't keep up.
Well, anyway, my nephew.
Jeremy, was it?
Yes. Jeremy. So Jeremy has been showing me all these amazing independent web blogs. Yes. That really blow open the truth. It is amazing the lies that the papers are printing.
Oh, that's awful. Poor guy. They're saying he's a monster.
Tina, apparently even Jeffrey Rush is a monster. No one gets a fair guy these days.
Oh, it's sad. Would you like a top up?
No, I'm alright, Bob.
Would you like my ice cube?
Oh yeah, pop it in.
Oh, you got on mute, love. Oh, it's that one.
Incredibly, 80% of all insects live in jungles. Few are more successful than the ants. There can be 8 million individuals in a single hectare. But jungle ants don't have it all their own way. These bullet ants are showing some worrying symptoms. Spores from a parasitic fungus called cordyceps have infiltrated their bodies and their minds. Its infected brain directs this ant upwards. Then, utterly disorientated, it grips a stem with its mandibles. Those afflicted that are discovered by the workers are quickly taken away and dumped far away from the colony. It seems extreme, but this is the reason why. Like something out of science fiction, the fruiting body of the cordyceps erupts from the ant's head. It can take 3 weeks to grow, and when finished, the deadly spores will burst from its tip. Then any ant in the vicinity will be in serious risk of death. The fungus is so virulent it can wipe out whole colonies of ants. And it's not just ants that fall victim to this killer. There are literally thousands of different types of cordyceps fungi, and remarkably, each specializes on just one species. But these attacks do have a positive effect on the jungle's diversity. since parasites like these stop any one group of animal getting the upper hand. The more numerous a species becomes, the more likely it will be attacked by its nemesis, a cordyceps fungus.
Negroni? Shouldn't. There'll be no more shouldn'ts once he gets here. Shouldn'ts for the weak, shouldn'ts for the flies. And where the spiders? And the spiders drink the flies. In this truly globalised economy, we'll all be having lunchtime Negronis because it is the aperitif hour in Berlin. And that could be where our next appointment is. We're on international time now. We're in his time. You see, it wasn't always easy for women like us in the property game, but once he gets here, that oppressive red tape will come crumbling down. Once he arrives, there'll be winners. And there'll be losers. When it'll trickle down at once. But if we can make this an attractive market for men of his distinct abilities, then eventually everyone will feed off the opportunities he brings. And I'm not about the losers. I'm about the winners. The losers are the spiders. Today's spiders are tomorrow's flies, and I'm one big fucking bird. What do I do really? Sell houses? No. I build opportunities. I build opportunities for me and my little baby birds, and I won't just eat the spiders. I'll fly them to my nest and feed them to my little chickies. See, we're not too different. Him and me. He's a bird. He's about to spread his wings. And sure, there are some things that legally we can't do yet, but cards is for the birds. And this pussycat drinks up every drop of those birds. Blood is life. Blood is life. Before she left, she asked me, who gets to eat the cat? And I wouldn't tell her. It just didn't seem fair. But of course he gets to eat the cat. But he's so generous. If we cooperate, if we play along, if we catch the birds that catch the spiders, that catch the flies, we'll get the leftovers. And I'll drink to that. unmanned commercial freighter drifting into the harbour, with attempts to contact crew so far unsuccessful. Leaked memos from the Maritime Unit of the Border Force shows that your department has been recommended to treat this as a high-level biosecurity threat. Why are we just now learning about these recommendations?
Well, Lee, we determined that this wasn't a priority that your viewers were particularly worried about. What we're more concerned with is creating destination number one for innovators and investors.
But Minister, then why was the memo leaked?
The boat itself seems to be entirely sound.
And the department?
We seem to be leaking quite a bit.
Right. So why would it take a leak to notify the public of the arrival of the boat?
Well, our main goal is to make this country destination number one for innovators and investors.
But what about your own maritime security force?
Well, that's between my department and the force.
And have you clarified the matter with them?
You'll know when we have.
How?
It will probably leak.
So these are an ongoing issue here.
But not on the boat.
But Minister, the vessel appears to be unmanned.
It shall go down. If I haven't come up again within 10 minutes.
Sorry, Minister, we seem to have lost you there.
As I was saying, it's important that our trade routes remain open and that our goods reach their intended destination. And that means a fairer go for all of us.
I'm just not sure what an out-of-control hunk of metal drifting into the coastline is meant to achieve.
Well, it's really about the innovators and investors it will bring.
And what will they bring?
Innovation and investment.
Right, but Minister, how can the public have faith in your department when you're both lacking in transparency and aren't able to keep your own agencies under internal control while seemingly putting the interests of foreign business associates above the health and security of the country all over a single shipment of goods?
Well, Lee, I disagree with the assessment that you've made there. What I can assure your viewers of is that everything is stable and on course.
The boat or the department?
The department. The boat's doing its own thing.
Well, Minister, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me, Lee. And I just want to remind everyone that we're still destination number one for innovators and investors. And we've just had the camel shampoo. We saved you a spot on the beach. And we got the sharks out of the pool. We've got the roost off the green. And Ville's on his way down to open the front gate.
The taxi's waiting.
And dinner's about to be served.
We've turned on the lights.
And turned off the wind turbines.
We got rid of our national energy policy.
And our Prime Minister followed it out the door.
We signed on to the Paris Climate Agreement.
And we failed to live up to the Paris Climate Agreement.
We've repealed the carbon tax.
And incentivised fossil fuels.
We've catered to the mining industry.
And privatised public utilities.
We've closed our mental health facilities.
And we've made homelessness a crime.
We've reinvested in tackling domestic violence.
No, we haven't done that. We haven't actually done that one. Just go back.
We've told Sheilas to watch their surroundings.
And we told the blokes not to get caught.
We got a woman to run the country.
And we made sure that it would never happen again.
We've apologised to people separated from their families.
And we've just legalised forced adoption.
We spent a small fortune on this after we were to come here.
And that's nothing compared to what we've spent on offshore concentration camps to stop people coming here.
We got rid of the light rail.
And now we're putting the light rail back in.
We've made our city unaffordable.
And our suburbs unlivable.
We've dried up the floods. For now.
We put out the fires. For now.
So where the bloody hell are you?
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 You can't do
Where the fuck are you, cunts? Where the bloody hell are you? We've done a lot for you.
We've got humans literally all the time.
We made you pay for us.
See my head.
bloody hell are you? You made a couple over and everything.
What the bloody hell are you?
You got the one from Coles.
Mummy cooking.
We handmade a meringue.
Gosh, so.
There's a lot of extra food, you know.
Sugar and mustard.
We poured ourselves apart for you.
So what the bloody hell are you?
Bloody hell are you?
Hello, this is a representative from the Empress, just on course to your coastline. That's right. I just wanted to inform you that there's no cause for concern about the contents of the ship, and we'd appreciate it if we could just pass through undisturbed. Of course, you're just doing your job, but I'd appreciate it if we could cut through some of the formalities and expedite the arrival. No need to apologise at all. Well, hello, Annabelle. Yes, it's me. Okay. Just tell the minister that my schedule is filling up and she'll have to fit into my Friday schedule if she still wants that meeting. No, she'll move it, don't worry. At the moment I'm thinking we could share a bottle of Penfolds overlooking the harbour. Annabelle, you're better than this. You know I only take evening appointments. No need to apologise at all. Gina! It's great to hear your voice. Hello, in person at last. No, don't listen to them, Gina. You know, as long as I'm around, there'll always be a market for your coal up in the mountains. Why don't you read me that poem over dinner? Okay. Yeah, I can still make that work. But just be punctual, you know how busy I get. No need to apologise at all. Yes, hello, and who might I be speaking to? Well, hello, Christine, I'd like to make a donation. Well, how much did Philip Morris donate this year? Yeah? Ah, well, I guess I'll just double that then. Have we reached the disclosure threshold? Okay, well in that case I'll just move some money around, make these a smaller set of gifts, if you know what I mean. Christine, it's really above your pay grade to counsel me on the legality of my business dealings. No need to apologise at all. Yes, although I just wanted to let Malcolm know that I actually will be in town and can still have that meeting face to face. What? When? Scott who? Who the fuck is that? Like, no, don't worry, I'm in no rush. I'll wait until next year. Apology noted.
It'll be okay. It'll be okay.
Oh, for fuck's sake! I'm sorry. What you want to eat?
should have good local reporter. Or that you get some on your way back from a business trip.
So as you can see, this boat plotline takes up quite a lot of the film, assuming that this text is more or less proportionate to runtime. My working theory is that this might have reflected the general xenophobia and nationalism that was brewing in Germany between the wars. As I said though, speculation is really just that.
So then why is the film lost? What happened between Stoker and the production company?
Well, Stoker was dead when the film was made, but his widow, Florence, sued the producers after the film was released, and even though the names of the characters had been changed, the verdict was clear-cut. Nosferatu was copyright infringement, and in those days you didn't just pay damages. Films weren't this abstract piece of content that just existed in the world indefinitely after creation. They were finite material objects, and like any object that is deemed illegal, they were destroyed.
So that's what the court ordered.
Every copy burned. Of course, maybe they missed a print or two, but after the Nazis and then the division by the Americans and Soviets, I don't think there's a chance it can exist in Germany.
So that's it.
Well, that's what I'm working on. You see, there's financial records of prints being sold to international distributors. If even one of those copies made it out of the country, it would be out of the purview of the German courts. So maybe there is a copy out there, and maybe one day we'll be able to see it. Vampyre, Dracula, Nosferatu, Orlock. We have no idea what we haven't seen. No one else has attempted to adapt Stoker's story since, but if Nosferatu was half the film that its reception seemed to indicate, then who knows what could have become of the story in the popular consciousness. That's really what my research is finding. We didn't just lose a well-made film, I think we may have lost a phenomenon.
Oh, good to go. You might be able to make it. Are you warmed up? Yeah. Good, isn't it? Already here? Yeah, I don't know if we're going to make it, but I'm sure we want to get on with it. Sorry, I'm on the
Do we have a green light yet? Guys, fucking punch! Yeah!
Are you? Oh, babe. Oh, no. Lucinda here will be looking after you today. You still don't do anything, alright? Good, isn't it? You're welcome. What did you go? Oh.
Alright, I'll just need that then.
Alright, I'm going to go get the yes. Okay, next. I'm going to put you in position now. Just going to touch your head and shoulders and move your arms, that's alright. Okay, so just lie down forward here. Excellent. Just shuffle it down that way. There. There. So this is going to do that. I'm going to apply some scalp and tap to your face, if that's alright. Alright, now if anything goes wrong, I'm feeling comfortable with it.
Salut.
You don't stay.
Salut.
What about you? You lead the way.
Salad, solo, siri, sala, ze.
Okay, now once you start to really walk that face as really as possible, what's it?
Soldo.
Si,
sala.
very exciting stuff. But you really do need
Solo, sila, sila, za.
Alright? Alright, let's go!
peers. Describe dead man made alive again. Dead dark eyes, what fire in them, not human hellfire, stay in the castle. No one but old Count, but no pretense of being alone. Young man goes out, sees girls, one tries to kiss him, not on lips but neck. Old Count interferes, rage and fury diabolical. This man belongs to me, I want him. I suppose I must have fallen asleep. I hope so, but I fear. For what followed was startlingly real. So real that now, sitting here in the broad, full sunlight of the morning, I cannot in the least believe it was all sleep. Everything's just great.